Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Cam Jennings, aka Cam Fats, coming at you on behalf of Epic Conversions and the Epic Conversions Insiders Club. It is Saturday morning. I hope you guys are doing amazing out there on this fine Saturday morning. It is 10:15 a.m. It is the first Saturday of the month, and you guys know what that means. It's time for the group coaching call of the Insiders Club. Let's get into it, guys. I had a lot of questions come at me this month about different things. A lot of people are asking me. I've been doing quite a few. I've been a little bit more active lately when it comes to product launching. And I have a goal to launch products for every single month the rest of this year. So that means I'm going to launch one here in October on the 10th. I plan to launch another one in November and another one in December. And a lot of people have been asking me how am I putting products out so quickly, especially because they're good ideas, right? Because they're not like really just like crap products. They're actually really good products. How am I getting them out so quickly? And I thought it was kind of funny because personally I know there's marketers out there putting out products even faster than me. Some of them are good products, some of them aren't so good at products, but they got a quick turnaround time. But just because people did ask me that, I will talk about that a little bit today for you guys. As always, guys, I just want to make sure I wrote that down about prolific. Let me just write that down. I didn't actually write that down on the on my list of questions, but I will talk about it. Let me just put that over there. I don't like they moved my pencil holder. I do want to speak on just being a little bit more prolific with your paid content and with your content creation in general, because it does make a big difference, especially in the internet marketing space. Big Danny, what's up, man? Doug Swisher in the house. Hey, Doug, happy Saturday. Can't hear you. I'm sure it's on my end. Let me make sure my stuff is working here. Test. Yeah. It looks like I'm working okay on my end, Doug. Let me know if it starts coming in for you. And actually, let me just really quick. I want to check something. I'm gonna check this really quick on audio, guys. So make sure we're cool. Yeah, being prolific is a big deal. I mean, it really is. It's not like something that it's not something that you can really escape from. You have to find a way to be top of mind in the marketplace. That's just kind of the way it is, and I think everyone struggles with that to some degree. I don't think it's natural for a human being to always try to find a way to stay on other people's minds. I mean, it seems kind of like a weird thing. But I think people do struggle with it. Let me just make sure that I just want to check or make sure this is actually we're getting sound on this one, guys. Yep, we're good. All right, cool. All right, very cool. So yeah, let me X out of that. Big Danny in the house. What's up, Danny? I was talking to Danny just last night. Danny says he can hear everything good. That's perfect. Jay Mortison in the house. What is up, man? FYI, audio is good here. All right, fantastic. Lee in the house. Good morning, Lee. Good to see you, bro. And then Doug Fisher got his sound fixed as well. Awesome. That's great, guys. That's great. So The first thing I want to talk to you guys about, let me just get this started, is Fat Stacks. Now, some of you guys might have already seen that Fat Stacks is in the members area for you guys already. Some of you might not have. I just put it in there like yesterday, so it just got put in there for you guys. But when you get a chance, be sure to check out Fat Stacks because it is one heck of a product. It really is something. It's surprising because it is actually kind of it's funny, it's kind of a secret product as far as like it's revealing a secret to the marketplace, something different, something new. um and what it's talking about is a place called Substack, right? And the thing about Substack and the thing about Fat Stacks is um, Substack is a newsletter platform, and we'll go there in a minute. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. But the beautiful thing about Substack, you guys, is Substack will allow you to have build an email list right there on platform. It will allow you to build an email list right there on platform, basically like an autoresponder. Um, it will allow you to schedule your newsletters or emails, whatever you want to call them, allow you to schedule them out. You could schedule a year's worth of emails or newsletters if you wanted to, right? So that's that, right? But also, when you publish your emails or newsletters, what will happen on Substack is you it will actually be there like publicly. Like people can see on Substack, they can visit and see your emails and newsletters. Now, you have a choice whether you make that individual email, newsletter. I'm just going to call it email from here forward, just because it's confusing, right? um, so essentially, the email is also like a blog post, right? Lee is saying S. Hold on a second, guys. Danny says, picked up a black snowball ice yesterday. Sound from it is amazing. That's awesome. That's awesome, Danny. Great job, man. SIS. I'm not sure what that means, Lee. Maybe explain that a little bit. Unable to connect. I'm not sure what's happening there. I think Lee might be having some technical issues. Hopefully he'll be able to get that squared away. It looks like the rest of us are doing okay. So we'll stand by and see what happens with that. So anyways, all right. So yeah, Substack. All right. So with Substack, you can basically run a newsletter, right? The emails themselves actually are, people can see them on Substack, right? They can see them on Substack. So when you send out an email to your list that you're building on Substack, people can actually find those emails on Substack, right? And Substack's getting 11 million visitors a month and growing, right? So there's a lot of traffic coming into Substack. What else? So what we're talking about is a place that is essentially, it's an email list, it's a blog, it's a membership site, because Substack actually works through Stripe, which is a payment processor, and you can actually charge every month for your newsletter. You can charge $5, $10, $15 a month, every single month, whatever you want, $97 a month for your newsletter. You can choose which emails are paid and which emails are free. So you could do like 1 free a month, 3 paid a month, and just roll like that, right? Substack lets you create multiple newsletters. So you could do like a newsletter in the health and weight loss niche. You could do a newsletter in the email marketing niche. You can run them all right from Substack. So basically, you can get organic traffic right there on Substack. Substack. Lee is saying, Lee is not a bro. I'm sorry, Lee. I'm sorry. You know what? I knew that already. I don't know why I was saying that. I apologize, Lee. You know what? I already knew that. I apologize to you, madam. Um, yeah, I already knew that. What was I even thinking? I'm sorry, Lee. Okay, so Substack's a really cool place. It's very interesting. And with Fat Stacks, you guys, there's case studies in there for you. There's like a system in there for you for creating content quickly, easily. Um, just like everything's in there, right? It's a fantastic platform, and I wanted to put a product together that really showed people the opportunity that is Substack, right? Let me show you something really quick when it comes to Substack. So I want to show you my screen really quick. So if we go over to Substack, it's funny because it doesn't look like much. It doesn't look like much, but this place just started in 2018, and there's a lot going on here. All right. These are some of the writers that are writing on Substack right now. You can browse top writers. Now, here's the cool thing. All right. So I can enter a keyword here like internet marketing, right? Right. And people can enter keywords here, and the newsletters will come back based on keywords, right? So this gives you an opportunity to compete for traffic right here on the platform itself. All right. So this is very interesting because if we go over to Similar Web, right? And if we look at something like Periscope, which I'm sure all of you guys have heard of Periscope. Let's find the real Periscope. Now we're all familiar with Periscope. We all know Periscope's kind of on its way downhill, right? We see that Periscope is still getting traffic, which I already knew that Periscope was getting traffic because I talked to several people who were still using it to generate traffic. And they were getting good results with it, even though I thought Periscope was kind of dead. And what we see here is when we look at Periscope's not really dead. It's still getting 2.5 million visitors a month. And it's kind of on the incline a little bit. It's kind of coming back. It's kind of making a slight comeback. Periscope's got 25% of its traffic coming from the US, which is cool. Heck, I might even check out Periscope again. I used to do Periscope. It's like Facebook live streaming came out, and that was it. It was all over. But why am I bringing up Periscope? Because Periscope shows a little bit of promise, and Periscope has a global rank of 14,744. Country rank in the US of 9,500. It's all green lights, right? Arrow up, arrow up, arrow up. All right. So this is an interesting situation on Periscope, and it shows a little bit of promise. So why am I bringing it up? Because I want to show you this. Watch this. So when I type in Substack, right, and I go to look at Substack, look at this. Far, far greater than Periscope, right? Global rank 5,883, country rank 2,000, category rank 875, all green lights, all up. And we see since June of 2020, like the trajectory of Substack is just up, 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 right? It's got almost 12 million visitors a month, you guys. 51% of the traffic's coming from the US. And I only bring that up is because people in the US buy things, right? So this is a very high quality traffic that's coming here. Next is United Kingdom. Next is Canada, right? So, I mean, there's no other way to say that like Substack is rising and it's trending upward. This is a very, very promising site with a lot of traffic hitting it. So the timing is right. And if we look at like some of the stuff that's happening on Substack right now, what I've found on here is that, a lot of the blogs are not, I call them blogs. They're not blogs. They're newsletters, right? They're newsletters. And when you subscribe to them, you actually, when you subscribe to them, you actually will get their newsletter in your inbox, right? You won't get a link to Substack in your inbox. You will get the actual newsletter itself delivered to you via email, like a broadcast message. However, like that message will also exist on Substack as well as kind of like a blog post kind of thing. But it's not like a blog, is it? It's more like a social media platform because people can comment on your posts. People can comment on your emails, right? It's really exciting. And if we look at one of these newsletters, so when you click on one of the newsletters, this is what you get. Boom. And put your email in here and it's asking you to subscribe. Now this is free. This is a free, right? And I can look at it before I subscribe. I can just kind of like browse, right? And I can choose whether I want to subscribe or not. But this is free. Now this was paid. I would see this stuff if this was paid, but when I clicked on it, I wouldn't be able to see the actual newsletter. Another thing I want you to understand about Substack, you guys, is you can put podcasts on here natively. That's so amazing, you guys. You can put them on here natively. Let me show you what I mean. What I mean by that. So like I've been putting my podcast on Anchor. I was putting my podcast on Anchor for like the first part of this year, and it was great because it distributed all over the place. However, if I put my podcast on somewhere like Substack, every time I published an episode, it would go out to my email list, right? The email list that I was building on Substack, it would just go right out to them, right? Every single time. Let me show you another cool thing about Substack is this right here, this video embed from YouTube. Guys, all you have to do is just like put the URL of the YouTube video in here. And boom, it just embeds automatically. And I already tested this. It'll embed it into your email. So it's pretty cool. Pretty neat the way they got this going on over here. But like right here, you see this has got 11 comments, 31 hearts. This like 31 hearts, 11 comments and stuff like this. This is how you compete for traffic right here on Substack. So it's got internal organic traffic that can help build your newsletter. All right. So yes, you can pull in people to your newsletter from outside sources like we would with a traditional opt-in. However, you don't have to. You got traffic right here that you can utilize as well. It's really cool. Anyways, let me just show you really quick. Let me just see here. So, I've started a couple newsletters here just to try to kind of explore it a little bit, see where the hot spots are. What I found right now is with this, the hot spots are really in topical niches, right? You guys got to understand, this is a newer platform. It's ripe for the taking. I mean, you can come in and almost dominate any sub niche you want on this platform right now. There's a ton of visitors here, and there's not, I mean, you could just come in and dominate almost any sub-niched platform. Right now, the big ones are topical, right? They are covering news, recent news. But you could come in and just like kind of take over something. Anyways, let me go to this right here. I just want to show you guys something really quick. Let me make sure that I am sharing my sound as well. I need to share my sound with you guys for this one. So I think what's really exciting to me about Substack, guys, is the fact that the biggest thing that I'm excited about with Substack is, everything that you can do on Substack, I already do. But like I've had to learn how to do all that stuff, and I've had to use a bunch of different platforms to do it. Between like Aweber for email, between like setting up WordPress and getting hosting and all that stuff for my blog, between like figuring out how to use Facebook to get some organic traffic, figuring out how to use YouTube to get some organic traffic, and just lots of stuff, figuring out how to use Anchor to do my podcast and all this other stuff. It's fine, but you know what? I've been doing this for a long time. for a newbie, it's harder. You know what I mean? It's a little bit harder for a newbie. It's a little bit overwhelming. Not that they can't do it, but it's a little overwhelming to try to take on all that stuff and set up like an infrastructure for a business, right? And the fact that you can set up a podcast, you can set up basically a blog, a social media profile, an email list right here on Substack and do all that stuff all on this one little platform, a membership site, all right here in this one little spot. I mean, it's ridiculously powerful. Anyways, let me show you guys something. So you can do post, right? Or you can do an episode. Now, this is for podcasts, right? I can do an episode right here. I can upload my MP3 of my podcast if I want. I'm just going to put test for the ECIC. All right. I can upload an MP3 or I can record it right here on Substack. Check this out, guys. So yeah, I was just bragging to my Insiders Club about how cool I think Substack is and how I felt like I just had to make a product about it because it's so interesting. I'd like to break that down for you guys now in 3 major points why this place is so awesome. Boom. So yeah, I was just bragging to my Insiders Club about how cool I think Substack
Can you guys
is
hear that?
and how I felt like I just had to make a product about it because it's so interesting. I'd like to break that down for you guys now in 3 major points why this place is so awesome. Boom. Just like that. If you want to do a podcast, you can do it right here. As soon as you're done, I mean, you don't have to transcribe it, but you can transcribe it if you want to. And you know the best way I think to transcribe it? If you record it right there, just come over here. Come over here to otter.ai. This thing transcribes with over 90% accuracy. It is really, really good. And it does it in minutes. In minutes, this thing can transcribe what you recorded. All right? So all you got to do is just record it, download it, bring it over here, upload, import it. It'll transcribe it. Once it transcribes it for you, it'll take a few minutes. It's free. You get like 600 minutes free a month or 400 minutes free a month or something like that. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So anyways, you come over here, you transcribe it. You come over here, you plop the transcription right here. And what do? You send it out. You send it out. You hit the publish button. Boom. You hit the publish button. And then guess what? It goes out to your entire email list that you built on Substack. All right. And also it goes on your Substack page, like some kind of social media post. If you want to make it a paid post, you can. Nobody will be able to see it unless they pay. Right? This thing is off the chain, you guys. Off the chain. Let me show you a couple more things about this, then I'll leave it alone because you're probably getting sick of hearing about it. So let's go to so I showed you the free publications, right? And here's top paid publications, right? And we see this is $10 a month, and this is what it looks like. And you have a few options for how you want to do it, right? But let's just look at this one for example. So reporting by Matt Taby. Obviously, I go here. It's asking me to subscribe. This is a paid publication. So when I hit subscribe, I can hit let me read it first. Let me just do that in a new tab. I'll close that. And I'm going to get all these things, but if I want to click on one of them, and you see they got engagement, you can see the engagement, you can see the hearts. But if I click on one, right, it's showing me that and that's fine. But this is an excerpt from today's subscriber only post. To read the entire post and get full access to the archive, $5 a month or $50 a year. You said all that stuff. You don't have to show them anything if you don't want to. You can show excerpts if you want to. You don't have to show anything if you don't want to. The excerpts are great though, aren't they? Because with the excerpts, you're going to bring in more organic traffic. You're going to get more people to subscribe. I mean, this can be a podcast. It doesn't have to be written. It can be video. You can make your video stuff cost money every single month. It could be like video training and it costs money. They don't even see any excerpts or anything. Or and you can make your free stuff like written or whatever. You can do it however you want to do it. It's very easy to set up. And anyways, I'm not trying to sell you guys on Substack. I just think it's an amazing opportunity. That's why Fat Stacks exists, because of Substack. And I think it's just a great place. So let me just answer a couple questions, and then I'll talk a little bit more about my actual launch and what I'm doing with Fat Stacks. It's going to be launching on the 10th. Of course, you guys already have it right now. You guys have it. I dropped it in members area for you guys yesterday. Susan, how are you doing? Okay, I came in late, so if you covered this before, I'll catch it in the replay. You're not suggesting we use this as a substitute for our own websites, right? No, you don't have to use this for a substitute for your website. You don't have to do that. I think, I'm not going to use it as a substitute for my website. I mean, I'm already trucking. I'm already rolling. I mean, I'm already doing what's working for me. And if you're doing what's working for you, I say keep on trucking. But I will say that Substack has some major benefit to it, just because it's getting so much organic traffic a month. So it's not a bad idea to set something up there. It's not a bad idea, you guys. And what I suggest is, if you're already doing stuff on your own website, if you're putting content right now on your own website, or content on social media, or content on YouTube, I suggest setting up a Substack and bringing some of that content over there, kind of repositioning that content and bringing it over there. The reason being, you can build a separate email list right there on Substack. You can actually import your email list to Substack from like an Aweber, from like a GetResponse, from like a MailChimp. You can actually import your email list if you want to. So no, I'm not suggesting you guys, like just shut down your website and stop doing what you're doing. No, it's unnecessary. If you're already doing something that's working for you and it makes sense, keep doing what you're doing. But I definitely recommend adding Substack to your toolbox, right? Because think about this, like if you're doing YouTube reviews, if you're doing review videos on YouTube, all right, just for an example, if you're doing review videos on YouTube of info products, right? And I know there's several people in my ECIC that are doing that. Well, you're doing YouTube reviews on YouTube. Why not have a Substack and go ahead and put those YouTube reviews on Substack as well? You create the newsletter, you put the headline. When you do an issue, you put the headline, you embed the simple YouTube video, you copy the description of the YouTube video over there, you publish, right? So now you're going to be taking advantage of not only YouTube, but you're also going to be taking advantage of that 11 million visitors a month on Substack, right? Not only that, when people subscribe, if you're doing YouTube video reviews regularly, if people subscribe to your newsletter and it's free, when you publish a new one, it's going to go out to them individually. They don't just have to find you on YouTube, right? They're going to subscribe to your newsletter to get your cool video, info product reviews. And when you publish a new one, like let's say you're doing 3 or 4 a week or something, when you publish a new one, boom, they're always going to get it to their inbox, right? So it's quite the advantage. The other advantage of it is you can actually export your email list from Substack. So all the subscribers that you gain on Substack, you can export them. It's off the chain, man. It's ridiculous. So would you suggest posting to Substack first, then posting to our own website? I've heard people do that with Medium. They wait until Medium post gets Google love, then post on their website. I'm not sure. I mean, I probably would just post to my website, and then I would post to Substack. I don't know that it matters. I haven't been using Substack for years and years and years. I've only been playing with Substack for a few weeks. So I couldn't really, suggest one is better than the other. I think if you already have a system in place, Susan, what I recommend is thinking about just adding this to that system as like a viable addition. And then just like testing it out for a month or two and see if it helps. See if you get some traction with it. If you get some traction with it, double down on it. That's what I would recommend. I wouldn't recommend necessarily posting there first. I would just, add it to the repertoire. As far as like Medium, I know some people have asked me, like, is Substack basically like Medium? No, Substack is not like Medium, you guys. And the reason why it's different than Medium is because with Substack, it's a newsletter. With Medium, it's more like a blogging platform, right? With Substack, people subscribe, and when you publish, it goes to their inbox as a newsletter, right? They individually get it like you sent out a broadcast message, right? So it's different in that way. Also, it's different in the way that you can actually download your email list from Substack, right? So you can take your audience with you. If you say, you know what, I'm sick of Substack, or if you just say, you know what, I like Substack, but I also like to have these people in an autoresponder. You can download that audience, you can take them over to an autoresponder like Aweber, and you can upload that list of emails to Aweber on a traditional email list. Now you might think, well, why would I do that? Okay, well, the reason why you would do that is because, oh, you're welcome, Susan, no sweat. Okay, so the reason why you would do that is very, very simple. All right. Because the one thing that you cannot do on Substack, right? When someone opts in, like let's say you have an email list, right? And you've set up like a 10-day autoresponder, right? Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, all the way through day 10. Right? So with my Aweber, with an autoresponder, everybody who opts in to this one squeeze page, they always start on day 1 and they go through day 10. They're all gonna get the same messages. Now with Substack, yes, you can schedule your newsletter messages to go out. You can schedule, I can schedule for the whole year if I want to. However, if this person joins today, they're going to start with today's newsletter. If this person over here starts like next week, they're going to start on next week's, whatever day they started, that's the first newsletter they're going to get to their inbox. Now, they can go to Substack itself and they can see all your newsletters right there, right? It's all right there. They can go back and see the whole archive of newsletters you've been sending. So that's kind of a bonus. That's kind of cool. It's not quite the same as a traditional autoresponder, though, where like you get that sequential series that everyone starts on day 1 and they all go through the same little thing, right? So that's why it's not really the same as an autoresponder. If you could do that, that would be like amazing. Like that would be like really crazy. But you can't do that particular thing. That being said, the benefits far, far outweigh the negatives. That's like literally only the negative I have with Substack. That's the only negative. Because on top of all that, you guys, Substack is absolutely free. It is free. So I'm very excited about it because there's a lot of new people out there who don't have autoresponders, who don't have blogs, who don't have hosting, who don't have this, who don't have that. And they're trying to figure stuff out and they're trying to get into things and they're overwhelmed by all this crap, right? So here's a platform that offers this ability to do all in one place, and it's growing extremely quickly. So it's quite a big opportunity for new people to get started and not have to spend any money. And it's also a good opportunity for people like you guys and people like me who are already established but want a place that's growing and we can like add our content and just kind of like build, right? So it's a really nice place. So that's why FatStacks is here, and it's all about Substack. So let me just I think I've talked about Substack enough. The other thing I would say about Substack would be let me show you guys the sales page. Let me go to so I'm releasing this product called FatStacks. It's all about Substack. You guys know why. I just like bragged about it for like a half an hour or something. But guys, check out FatStacks when you get a chance. It's in the members area. Check it out. Like, I think you guys are, you're going to really like it. You're going to get a lot out of that product. So let me go ahead and share my screen really quick. So this is the basic sales page for FatStacks. As you can see, man, it is very stripped down. It is very plain. It is It's got that courier text, kind of like a typewriter. And it's got this back is supposed to look like a Post-it note. It's supposed to look like a Post-it note. Have you guys ever seen a Post-it note posted some like on a desk or on a wall or something, and like been able to not look at it? Like whenever you see a Post-it note, like don't you just want to read what it says? Right? So that's why this color is here. And then it's a very traditional kind of sales page. It just talks about, hey, I have something really cool. It's a secret, but it's going to let you do this. It's going to let you do that. It's going to let you do the other thing. It's kind of a blind sales letter, and I haven't really done a lot of blind sales letters. I think the last one I did was for Sleeper Money a while back. But this sales letter really teases the customer, right? So this is not really my style of sales letter, to be honest. It's not my style that I'm the most comfortable with, but sometimes it makes sense. In the case of Substack, selling a product, talking about Substack, it really makes sense to kind of like tease what it is. And we can see I have a little picture of SimilarWeb, and I've blacked out the platform, and it's all kind of like, it's hyping things up and teasing the customer a little bit. But in a good way, you guys. The customers are going to be pleasantly surprised. I'm not lying on this sales page, about anything. And I don't ever want to lie to customers about anything. That's not cool at all, man. A lot of marketers do. So that the split test this is sales 2, right? And it's basically the exact same thing except it's white, right? And what I want to do, guys, is on the first day I'm going to be running this for probably the first. See, this thing's launching at 1 a.m. So I'm going to probably run these 2 pages until like noon, and then I'm going to take the winner and I'm going to change the winner a little bit, and I'm going to run it against the sales page 3. So like I'm going to leave the winner the way it is. It'll be my new control, but then I'm going to clone the winner for sales page 3, and I want to change it a little bit. And if you ask me like, well, how will I change the winner? Well, what I think I want to do is I want to add a video. I want to add a video and maybe put some features and benefits closer to the top, and run it against itself, like that. So that's what I think I'll do. And if you want to know, if you think this sales page is unique and interesting and different from what else is out there, I wish I could take credit for it, but I can't. This is by my good friend Jeremy Kennedy inspired this sales page. Let me just show you really quick. And I actually talked to Jeremy about this. I said, hey, well, let me just show you, and then I'll explain what I did. Let's see. This is a product a few months ago that Jeremy put out back in June. Blast-O-Matic. And like this product fascinated me because it has a conversion rate still of 10%, right? It's still got a great conversion rate, even months after it was released, and it came out in June. All right. This is freaking October. It sold 1,000 plus, and it's still converting at a high level. And when we look at it, and it won a deal of the day. And when we look at the sales page, we're going to see, you guys are going to see, man, Jeremy, this is not the first time Jeremy has done this, where like he's put out a sales page that's very, very plain. It's very simple. And it just like, I'm just like, dude, how did this, I don't understand. I do not understand how the sales page converted so well, and it still continues to convert. I mean, it's so old school. I thought people didn't like to read anymore. I thought people didn't like to read anymore, and they have short attention spans. Well, this sales page is still converting at 10%, right? So it's interesting. And Jeremy did a great job on it. It's not the first time he's done something like this, where he's like stepped completely outside the box and just done something completely different and done really well with it. So, and I asked him, and I said, dude, like, why did this sales page do so well? I don't understand. Like, why do you think this is converting at such a high level? It doesn't look it's very basic. It's very plain. It doesn't look anything like what is converting well for other people right now. And he said, dude, it's just because it's not even about like the sales page itself. It's not about the aesthetic of it. It's just 100% about the offer. It's just all about the offer itself, right? So, I feel like with Fat Stacks, I have a really good offer. And I was like, you know what? I want to give a nod to Jeremy Kennedy and kind of model after this basic sales page. And so this is a similar, version of his sales page. And I asked him what he thought of it, and he said he didn't like the yellow. He thought the yellow made it a little bit hard to read. So that's why it's being split tested against the white. So he actually gave me some good pointers for this opening line as well. This actually was something different. There's a word build in here, and I took that out on his recommendation. So yeah, he's a good guy. He's a good friend, and he is very, very smart about sales pages. There's no doubt about that. So yeah, I can't take the credit for this. This was completely modeled after Jeremy's Blastomatic sales page. Obviously, I kind of did my own thing in here, but the look of it is, highly modeled after that. So anyways, I hope that makes sense, you guys. Let me go ahead and stop sharing screen. And yeah, so that's what I'm doing with Fast Stacks, guys. It should be pretty cool. The goal on this one, I think, is just 500 units. I had a 500 unit goal on the last one, and I didn't make it. So I want to see if we can't get that goal made up this time. And then after we hit the 500 unit goal, like the next goal is basically 750. Like to try to get to 750 in November, and then hopefully by December we'll end it with a bang and do over 1,000 units on that one. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I think this one will do pretty well. It's a really good product, and it's up to me to show everybody and to explain to everybody how good of a product it is and why it matters. So what else? Running an affiliate page from Facebook. So I talked to you guys about Fast Stacks. Let me just cross this thing off here. Running an affiliate page from Facebook. Okay, one thing I'm doing different with this launch, you guys, is let me just share my screen with you really quick. So if we go over here to Facebook, I started a new affiliate. I started a new page. Okay. So it's called Epic Conversions Affiliates. All right. So I thought in my mind, like, why? Let me just invite these guys. Why not? Like, I have a JV page, right? Why not? Like, when I'm reaching out to people on Facebook, why not invite people? Like, why not send them to a Facebook page instead of like a JV page I set on my website? Why not send them to a Facebook page instead, right? Because that way they stay on Facebook. I can give them all the information right here on the Facebook page, but also what I can do is I can retarget them very, very easily. Like, once the affiliates look at this page, I can retarget all the people who have liked this page and all their friends. So I can build more buzz about this product launch in the days leading up to the product launch, right? I can boost this post right here. I just created this yesterday, but I can boost this post, or I can make a video on this page or whatever. I can boost it, spend like 25 or 30 bucks and boost this thing and just boost it to all the people who've liked this page and all of their friends. Now, it might not matter right now, you guys, because it's only reached 11 people. It's only like 11 or 12 people have liked this page because I just started it. I haven't really dedicated a lot of attention to it. But what if I run all the JV stuff from this page? And then what if on my next launch, I continue to run from this page, right? I change this banner out with my new products banner, and it's just all about Epic Conversions affiliates, right? I change this banner out with the banner for my next product, and I just keep on running everything from this page, so that when I put new videos out about my product, affiliate contests, I can run them from this page as well. All the affiliate contests, everything can be ran from this page. So then what happens is the people interested in this page are going to be my affiliates. So what's going to happen is I'm going to start to develop a really nice network of affiliates right here on this page that I can retarget with like boosted posts and stuff, and really, really, really get the word out there about my new product launches. I don't know why it took me so long to do that. I don't know why it took me so long to figure that out. But I think this is a nice little concept, and I think it's going to do well. Another thing you can do with when you got a little page thing going on, if you look over here at offers, I set up an offer for this, right? Fast Tax product launch expires October 14th because the launch is over on the 14th. Well, you see it's already reached 9 people and has 2 engagements, right? I haven't even boosted this offer yet, but I can boost this offer post as well, right? So this is all, and this is basically a JV group drop. What this says is basically just telling people, hey, I got a launch coming out on Saturday the 10th, right? And it's just like nice. This is a good way to use Facebook, okay? This is a very, very good way to use Facebook. It kind of is a hybrid of combining, paid traffic as well as, organic traffic. A lot of affiliates will come and just look at the page just because they're trying to see what the offer is and what it's about. And then you'll be able to retarget them in case because people are going to forget. It's 10 days out. People aren't always going to remember. So anyways, this is another thing I've been doing just to kind of, I just started doing this yesterday. And this is another way just to kind of build more buzz around the launch as far as like for affiliates. All right, so that's enough of that stuff. So let me just talk for a minute about some of these questions that people were asking me. How often should I be launching a product if I want to do product launching? Okay, that's a question I've gotten several times before. I think that the answer with how often should you be launching a product if you want to do product launching, the answer is truly it's up to you. It depends on how much you can handle. But like I know that's not the answer that people want. The answer that people want is like, how often should I be doing it to get the best results? I mean, the fact is to get the best results, like the more you can do it, the better results you'll get, right? Because this is a very top of mind marketplace, especially in the internet marketing biz op, MMO space. It's a very top of mind space. So like, it's like to be more prolific is to be better, right? So people are always going to remember, what the newest thing is. I really do believe, and I've talked about this before, but like I really do believe it's not just MMO. It's not just the make money online space. It's all spaces. Like whoever is more prolific, whoever is staying top of mind more, is going to get more attention, and attention equals money on the internet. Not even just on the internet, anywhere, off the internet, everywhere. Attention equals money. For example, look at your grocery store. If you go to your local grocery store, and you walk through your local grocery store with your mask on, of course, you'll notice that like there's always something going on. There's always like some kind of sale. There's always some kind of coupon thing going on. There's always something. Rollback. If you go to Walmart, there's always some kind of rollback thing going on. There's always something. Something's always happening. Something fresh. Some new products always coming out. They're always shifting around where things are. They're always changing things. There's always something new. And that is very, very effective strategy to keep people coming back. If you keep things the same all the time, you just put out this one thing, this one product, and it never changes, you're going to lose people. You're going to lose them, man. They're going to be attracted to the new thing. They're always going to be attracted to the new thing. I've been using this cover creator for a long time. I'm not even going to name the cover creator, but I've been using it for a long time, and it hasn't really changed. It hasn't really updated or anything. And like it does everything I need it to do. You know what I mean? But it's like I just kind of get sick of using it. You know what I mean? Like I just want to look around for other things to use. And with, Fat Stacks, I moved in a different direction. And it's not because that thing didn't do a good job, and it's not because it didn't do great. It's just because it didn't change. It was the same, and I was looking for something different. So I think that's just kind of how people are. They're always looking for the newest thing. They're always looking for some kind of change. So it's kind of a funny thing too, because when I used to work at a department, I worked at this place called Myers for a while. It was like I won't go into when I worked there, but like it doesn't even matter. You guys don't care about when I worked there, but basically, when I was going to college to be in business, I picked up a part-time job at Meyer on the side, and I was I was their systems monitor, which means that like I was a systems manager there, which basically means that like I fixed all their equipment, all their computers, all their cash registers, everything that was messed up, I would fix it for them because I'm good with like that kind of stuff, like IT kind of stuff. Um, so basically, when I was at Meyer, like I would walk around the store, just kind of talking to other people who work there, talking to customers, making sure everything was cool, and like one of the things customers would always ask, customers come up to you when you work at a place, they come up to you and ask if you can help them find something, and stuff like that. So one thing the customers would always say to me is they would say like, "Man, I hate that you guys are always like moving things around. Why are you always moving things around all the time?" And I used to say, "I know, man, I hate it. I wish they'd just leave things exactly where they were." That's what I'd say to them, and it's true, though, right? I kind of wish they just would leave things where they were. I want things to stay the same, but at the same time, we're drawn to things that are different. So, and that's why, when it comes to your business and your online business, there should always be like something happening. You know what I mean? You don't have to launch every single month. You don't have to launch every single 2 weeks if you can't do that, if that's stressful for you. But I think like at least once a month in your business, something new should be happening. Something fresh should be going on, because that is one way to stay top of mind, right? To stay topical, right? And I think that is a way that we really do vie for attention. That's the way that we can capture that attention. But if you just want like a hard number, I would say you should try to shoot for once a month, if you can. But I know that's difficult. I mean, shoot, I think it's difficult too. I mean, I made a goal to launch once a month for the rest of this year, and I find it kind of stressful, to be honest. But I gotta tell you, like when it comes to like being prolific and putting out more paid content more frequently, like I gotta tell you something. Yes, I can do once a month. Yes, I could do more than once a month if I wanted to. But I want you to know, like, I'm not just like magically gifted at doing that. Okay. I'm not just like magically gifted at putting out a lot of content fast. Like I had to work hard to find ways to get good at that skill. Right. I actually have hired coaches who I thought did a really good job at putting content out quickly, paid content, right? And I asked them, dude, how do you put your content out so quickly? And I studied their processes. I've bought in courses from people who put products out quickly, who launch very quickly, and I studied their processes, ways they do things, because man, that's just a skill that I think is valuable. Money loves speed. So the idea of being able to be more prolific with your paid content and getting your stuff out faster, it's very, very smart to study that and have that ability. I think if I was going to give you some like pointers or some tips on putting your content out quicker, I think the first tip I would give you is to abandon the idea of perfection. It doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be good, not perfect, right? The goal with the product is to move someone forward a few steps, right? That's the goal, right? So when you look at like a piece of paid content, you say, okay, what is the goal of this paid content? Now, let's just take FatStacks for an example. When I discovered this platform of FatStacks and I realized how powerful this platform was, it was a little hard to wrap my mind around it, to be honest. I was sitting here trying to fathom it, and like the product that you guys got that ended up being Fat Stacks, I want you to know that was the second iteration of Fat Stacks. The first iteration I scrapped because I didn't feel like it did a good enough job at like, um, you know, explaining the platform and showing people the opportunity, not just the platform, but the opportunity, right? So like I scrapped it. But I think if we're talking about prolific, right? Like how to put out prolific content, very regularly. It starts with you take that piece of content, you decide what is the goal of this content. In the case of Fat Stacks, the goal was I want people to recognize the opportunity that is Substacks, right? I want to give them a formula to capitalize on that opportunity because it's not just enough to about Substack. That's not enough. Like you need someone who understands what is in front of you to explain what is actually in front of you and how you can take advantage of it. That's what Fat Stacks is, right? I want them to understand you can do this, boom, 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 right here on this one platform, right? All for free. So, once you understand that goal of that product, now it can come together pretty easily, right? You either already know all the information and you present it to people, or you go out and find all the information and you present it to people. Don't fall in love with the idea of being perfect, Like even though I scrapped my initial product, you have to understand I scrapped it because it did not achieve my goal of like what my goal was. It wasn't what I wanted. I needed to do it a little bit differently. But don't think I do that all the time. I'm not in love with the idea of being perfect. I don't want to be perfect. I want to put stuff out there that moves people forward. I want to put stuff out there that inspires people, that gives people eureka moments, right? I don't have to tell them every single little thing about Substack, right? There's a beauty in discovering things for yourself, right? I want to give you enough information for you to see the opportunity in front of you and to go out there and learn a little bit yourself and get it going, right? And I want to excite people with these products. I want to get them going, man. I want to get them moving. But there's a beauty to discovery, right? So don't take away the beauty of discovery and bog people down with every single little thing. All you're going to do is waste all your time creating this product that is too big. No one's ever going to get through it anyway, and it's going to overwhelm people. So it doesn't serve anybody to overwhelm them. I mean, there's a beauty to brevity as well. So I don't think you can disrespect that beauty of brevity. So there's a fine balance between just like, achieving your goal of what that product is supposed to do, and also to not be too much, not overwhelm people too much. Give them enough to move them forward a few steps, achieve your goal, and inspire them, man. Inspire people. Let them see the opportunities. I think that's one of the biggest things I could say about being prolific when it comes to putting out a lot of content. The other thing is that I would say is, don't wait too long to move on. Like once something's done, move on to the next thing, right? Move on. Just move on. It's done. Sometimes that's hard. I mean, like me personally, like when we talk about a launch, the idea of a product launch, I'm not talking about just putting out a paid piece of content. That's one thing, right? But when you talk about if I just put out a paid piece of content on like Gumroad or something, or just sell it directly through PayPal, I can put that out and I can knock it down and then start back up the next day, right? But if I do something like a product launch, like I'm doing a product launch a month right now, that involves other things besides just creating the product. That also involves, creating this elaborate sales funnel. It also involves, reaching out to all these affiliates. It also involves, this launch cycle where you're trying to create all this buzz during the launch cycle. And then it creates kind of a post-launch where you kind of like try to like stop and put everything together about what just happened, as far as like looking at the data and trying to figure out. You guys know, you've seen me do product launch profiles before. We'll do another one when this launch is over. But so that's a whole different thing, right? And what I've taken to doing for me, guys, what's really helped me is I do a digital detox after every launch, and that helps a lot. So like, um, I did the Guru in a Box launch, and then I took like 3 days, and I just didn't even get on the computer at all. I didn't do anything, man. I didn't get on the television. I didn't get on the computer. I didn't get on my tablet. I just stayed away from electronic stuff. I just like read books and hung out with my family, played with my kids, and I did all that stuff. Then came back and locked and loaded. The funny thing is, while I was doing that digital detox, like my mind was thinking clearer, right? I can think more clearly when I'm not on a device all the time, right? My attention span was growing longer, right? I'm old school, I guess, because I like to sit down at the table and just kind of sketch out ideas sometimes. I'll map out little funnels and maps and stuff. Just try to come up with ideas. I was coming up with ideas like just looking at some books on my shelf. I was reading Guerrilla Marketing. This is an old school book, right? But I was reading that, just trying to think of ideas. And I wasn't even on a computer, but I was just like letting my mind wander a little bit. I think sometimes people are connected too much, So anyways, for me, one way to like be more prolific is to step away after you do something. You do something, step away for a few days, like completely step away and get out of the space, and then come back locked and loaded and ready to go again. And that works really well for me. I'm trying to think if I could think of any more tips when it comes to being prolific right now. I think, let's see. Don't be in love with perfection. It's not about perfection. It's about being good and moving people forward. Take a break after every single piece of paid content, just kind of like take a step back. When it comes to generating new ideas, don't think you have to reinvent the wheel. You don't always have to reinvent the wheel. You know what I mean? Like you're looking to do, there's a few things you're looking to do, right? And these are things that people are always interested in. How can I make your life better? How can I make it easier? How can I make it cheaper? Right? How can I make it faster, better, easier, cheaper, faster? Right? Better, easier, cheaper, faster. Right? So in any space, if you take a problem, like from the internet marketing space, one of our problems is, people don't know how to write good emails to get sales, right? Email conversion is a problem in the internet marketing space. So could I put out something that would eliminate that problem somehow, or make that problem easier, cheaper, or solve that problem faster for people, right? So why do you think that when I put out a done for you package of emails, like a sequential package of emails that's done for you, that is a popular product? It's popular because it takes that known problem and it makes it easier for people, right? The problem is I'm not creative. I don't want to write emails. I don't have time for that. Oh, well, I just sped up the process because I just wrote the emails for you. It's done for you. Done for you speeds up the process and it makes it easier also. So it's checking off those boxes, right? So if you take any problem and you say, is there a way that I can make that problem, easier for people, make it cheaper for people? Like right now, there's a product on Warrior Plus that just like crossed like 7,500 units, right? It was called like Profit Host or something like that, I think. But basically, this thing was like, it gave you free hosting, not free hosting. It was like 17 or 18 bucks one time, and you got hosting, right? So it was a one-time fee for hosting. Most people spend money on hosting every single year or every single month. I pay by the year, but my hosting, I think it's like $300 a year or something. I go through SiteGround. But it's like a lot of people don't like that expense of yearly hosting. So in that situation, what does Profit Host do? They come in and say, hey, we can solve that problem. We're going to make hosting cheaper. We're going to make it a one-time fee, and you're never going to have to pay for hosting again. Oh, you just took a problem and made it cheaper, right? You just made something I have to pay for cheaper, right? So it's a huge hit for people because a lot of people have that situation with hosting. Now you might say, well, Cam, Why didn't you go get that product? Why aren't you switching everything over to that one-time hosting thing? Well, I'll tell you, to be honest with you, I don't really trust it. Like I figured out a long time ago that like I wanted to surround myself with people that I trusted when it came to people that I had to rely on for my business, right? Um, when it comes to hosting, I need to be able to rely that my website is going to work, right? I house everything from epicconversions.com. And now I got epicconversions.net, which is my membership program's hosted. This guy's right here, Epic Conversions Insiders Club, is now hosted on epicconversions.net. But still, I mean, everything I do is housed from these two websites. So, it's important for me that they work and that I can depend on the people who are hosting the websites for me. So it's not like I'm not really interested in like picking up like one-time hosting. It doesn't bother me to pay a yearly fee or a monthly fee for my hosting. I need it to work. I mean, like literally this is how I support my family. So like I need the stuff to work. You know what I mean? SiteGround happens to be one of those companies that I can call them up and be like, hey, I got a problem. And they're like, no problem. We'll fix it for you, Cam. And like, we're good to go. And they fix it for me. So I like that, but the thing about it is like, I'm not my market, right? I'm not my market. People are in different places on their journey, like to, make money online and to have like an online business or just to make some money online, right? People are in different places on their journey. And what I figured out is like when you've been doing something since like 2011 and it's now 2020, most people who are online are not in the same place you're in. Like they're in a newer place, right? And like when I was in a newer place, I remember when I was in a newer place, I remember I hated spending money on hosting. I remember the first website I got with hosting, I bought Google Sniper and I was trying to like make these sniper sites, and to do it, I had to get hosting. And I think I got GoDaddy or something. And I was like kind of nervous, man, because like the hosting was like a reoccurring fee and stuff. And I was like, oh man, now I got this reoccurring fee. I hope this works. So it's nerve wracking for people. And like that particular thing might not be nerve wracking for me, but there are other things that are nerve wracking for me. So I just had to buy a new van not that long ago. My wife and I, we got a new van not that long ago, and I found that nerve wracking. I didn't want to buy that, but the other van we had was just, getting older. It was a 2006 or 2007, I think. And it was just getting older, and like it was like getting to this point where like, it was costing just as much to fix it and maintain it as it would have been just to buy another one. So it was kind of like, okay, well, you reach a point where it's just time to kind of like replace it with a newer model. And yeah, I found that nerve wracking, man. So I still understand what it is to be nerve wracked by stuff. So I get it. But I think that the point is when you're trying to be prolific with product creation, if you can address the needs of the market and you can find a way to make it cheaper, easier, faster, those kind of things, right? Easier, stuff like that. If you can find a way to do those things, like boom, you got it, right? And as far as like reinventing the wheel, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. I mean, if there are other good things out there that have done good jobs, if you have watched good product, if you have had good you've bought good products, like you've watched good video courses or you've read good ebooks, you can ask yourself, I like this ebook, I like some of the ideas presented here, can I make this better? Do I have 2 cents to add to this subject, right? You don't want to copy what other people have done. You don't just want to make a copy of it. But like the ideas and the subjects that are taught in this book, can you create your own book that, maybe talks about some of those ideas, and then maybe you add stuff from you that you learn from other places, right? Now, there's nothing wrong with that. You're saying it in your own words, and there's nothing wrong with saying, oh, by the way, I learned this from, Russell Brunson, or I learned this from, whoever, Cam Fats, or I learned this from, Rich Sheffrin or something like that. There's nothing wrong with saying, hey, I learned this from here, but this is something that's really worked well for me. I thought it was ingenious. I want to share it with you now. Do this. Boom, 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 boom. There's nothing wrong with that. That's okay. You're sharing and conveying ideas that you learn from other people. Everybody learns something from somewhere. You can't copyright an idea, right? So that's the thing about that. So yeah, don't try to reinvent the wheel. I guess that would be the next lesson when it comes to being prolific. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. You need to add 2 cents to something that people care about. You need to find a way to move people forward, and you need to try to find a way to help people solve their problems a little bit and move them forward. So I hope that helps a little bit with being prolific. I could talk a lot about this subject, but I hope that helps a little bit. Can you speak for a minute during coaching about stagnating and being crippled by perfectionism? Any insight is appreciated. I was just talking about perfectionism, but like, if you're having trouble like stagnating and you're having trouble with like just kind of trying to make everything perfect, and you keep on like learning and you keep on educating, but you're not moving forward, like the best remedy for that is action, right? Just action. Like you just take imperfect action, right? You have to remember that, like, if your goal is perfectionism, like, then your goal is misaligned, right? Your goal is not perfectionism. Your goal is to help people move forward. And the people you're helping move forward, they're going to be moving forward in an imperfect way, right? That's just the way it is. They're going to be moving forward in an imperfect way. They're going to have to adjust their businesses. They're going to have to learn from their mistakes. You're not going to put out a course that's like a paint by numbers course. Step 1, do this. Step 2, do this. Step 3, do this. And like what are you thinking? That like they're never going to experience any problems because you've laid out the most perfect course. Everyone, 3,000 people bought your course, and it's a 6-step course, and none of them are going to have any problems because they're all following all 6 steps. And like no one's ever gonna have any problems. Everyone's gonna get it together just perfect, and nothing bad's gonna happen. Everything's cool. I mean, that's not reality, man. And you guys know that's not reality. I mean, the fact is, some of those people aren't gonna read all 6 steps. It doesn't matter if there's 2 steps. Some of them are only gonna read 1 step, and like they're still gonna mess it up. Some of them are gonna take it wrong. Some of them are gonna like not do this the right way or not do that the right way, and like, and some of them just aren't going to get it. They're not going to get it, or they're not going to take action, or this is going to happen, or that's going to happen. And like different things are going to happen. Right. So like, your goal is not to be perfect when you're creating products, or you're creating a blog, or you're creating anything. That is not the goal. So if you find yourself trying to be perfect, you have to understand, you need to kind of like realign yourself with your actual goal. Your goal is to move a certain customer base forward a few steps, not to be perfect. It's a funny thing, people get obsessed with trying to make something really, really good. I don't think anyone says to themselves, hey, I need to make this course perfect, right? I don't think anybody says that to themselves. So sometimes it's even hard to discover, like, when you are trying to be perfect. You don't even know that you're trying to be perfect. You don't even recognize it. In your mind, you're just thinking, man, I'm just trying to make this really, really good, right? But if you start scrapping projects and like redoing them, like I did with Fast Stacks, like I gave myself that one, I'm going to scrap this and redo it. It's not meeting my goal right now, right? But if you start doing that over and over, scrapping things and restarting them, scrapping and restarting them, look, man, you need to realign yourself with your goal. It's not going to be perfect. It doesn't need to be perfect. The tricky part is no one ever says to themselves, I want to make this perfect. They always say to themselves, I want to make this really, really good, right? Like, I want to make this at another level good. Not like the crap I've been buying, but like at another level good, right? But that's a vague term, like another level good. Like, what is that? That's relative. And the problem is, if you're hard on yourself, and you never give yourself any credit for doing anything right, then like it's never going to be another level good. It's always going to be like not good enough, right? But what I found is, products and content in general usually is never quite as good or quite as bad as you think it is, right? Especially your own content. You can't really judge your own content very well. You can't do it. You try to put out good content that helps people in a way that you want to be helped. And you wish you would have had that kind of content when you were first getting started. And you put it out there and you move forward, man. And you don't worry about it too much. You can't really, you can't really focus on perfectionism. You can't really focus on putting out this amazing piece of content that's better than anything you've ever seen before or whatever. If you start focusing on that, you might be misaligning your goal, right? And this is important to stay aligned with what your real goal is with that piece of content. I hope that makes sense. I hope I'm not just rambling on. And I hope that helps. Cam, can you give me 1 or 2 email marketing tactics that I can work on mastering and use to get regular success with? 1 or 2 email marketing tactics that I can work on mastering and use to get regular success with. Okay, so yeah, I mean, with email marketing, I love email marketing, first of all. I mean, like, and I collect angles when it comes to email marketing, like baseball cards or something. There's so many good angles when it comes to email marketing. But if you just wanted to like master 1 or 2 email marketing tactics that would get you good results over and over again, then I would say the first thing I would just master that never really fails me, right? This never really fails me. Like this one idea of a style of email, right? This idea of some kind of entertainment value, some kind of actionable content, and then a pitch, right? This is the 3-step formula, right? Like some kind of entertainment value, some kind of actionable type content, and then a pitch. Like that formula never really fails me. Like I can talk about like a little bit of a story about what I did today, and then kind of like relate that into like some kind of actionable content. The actionable content would really like reflect strongly the benefit of the product I was going to be promoting. Like if I was promoting a product that was about affiliate marketing, what I would want to do is I would want to tell a little bit of a story. Then I would kind of like want to segue that into some kind of actionable content about affiliate marketing, right? If that makes sense. And then what I would want to do then is I would want to say, now look, obviously this is a great little strategy for affiliate marketing, but I mean, it's not going to like make you millions and millions of dollars. It's going to take a little bit more than this to master the art of affiliate marketing. Now, if you're really serious about affiliate marketing and you want to know where to start, this is the best place to start, right? This is the best place to start. And then boom, give them the link, right? So that little strategy, like, entertainment value, which like could come in the form of a story or a joke or like some kind of little quote by a famous figure like Abraham Lincoln or, whoever's famous, that's topical, that a lot of people know about, that's interesting. And you could talk on that for a tiny little bit, a paragraph or so, then kind of segue that into some actionable content, and then segue that into a pitch. That's a great little formula. So that's one little tactic. If you don't want to learn any other angles for email marketing, I would learn that basic formula. And the other beauty of that formula is it doesn't have to be like entertainment value, actionable content, pitch. It could be like pitch, actionable, entertainment value. Like you can switch them all up. The better you get at that, like the more you can switch things up, you can mix them around. But if the email has those 3 components, it will generally do very, very well. That's what I have found to be true. So that's the one tactic that I would master if you don't want to learn a bunch of angles for email marketing. The other tactic that I would learn is something I just kind of touched on a little bit. People who are getting started with email marketing are kind of clumsy with their pitches, right? They're kind of clumsy with their pitches. They do good at this, As long as they're giving, they're doing okay. They can do good. But as soon as they have to start asking for something, they have a problem, right? They have a problem. And it gets clumsy, and it comes across in the email, and it's clumsy, and people just disregard it. So here's what you need to understand. When it comes to your pitch and email marketing, there are two things that people always care about. They are always interested in. And those two things are simple. Like, where do I start? And what's the next step, right? Where do I start? How do I get started? Because people are in love with the chapter 1, right? People are in love with chapter 1. That's just the way it is. We all are. And then the second one is, what's the next step? The fact of the matter is, in that email, you just gave them something, some kind of lesson, some kind of takeaway. You just gave them something in there. And now, they're going to be asking, what's the next step? Now what? What's next? Now what? That's the universal question, you guys. You're at work, you clock out. Now what? Now what am I doing? I guess I'm going to go home. Now what? What am I going to do now? I guess I'll watch Netflix. Now what? What am I going to do now? I guess I'll eat some supper. Now what? What am I going to do now? I guess I'll call my buddy and see what he's up to. That's the universal question. We ask that question, what next? Like hundreds of times a day, we're asking that question. Now what? Every time I get up and take a break and go to the kitchen and look in the refrigerator for a snack. Now what? What we got out here to eat? Now what's going on? Think about how many times we've asked, now what? What next? So like, if you can answer one of those two questions for them, where do I start or what's next? Like, that's the perfect pitch, and it's very, very simple to do. I just showed you one, like, where do I get started? We just talked about that a minute ago. With the now what, it's very simple. It's like, so you guys are probably wondering, I know this is a good strategy right here that I just gave you, but now you're probably wondering what the next step is. What's next? Well, I'll tell you the next thing you want to do. You want to go over here and check this out. It just came out. It's absolutely fantastic. It's new. It's relevant for 2020. It will help you tremendously. And this is the next step. This is what you do next. Boom. Just like that. Those are the two questions people are always wanting an answer to. Where do I start and what's next? Right? So that's all you got to remember about pitching. You can universally use that in your pitching, right? So those are the two tactics I would learn. I would learn the strategy of entertainment value, actionable content, pitch, and then I would learn the strategy of now what and what's next. Or where do I start and what's next? That's what I would say about that. Those two things can take you to the promised land. 6, how can I put out more good paid content hitting writer's block? I think I kind of answered that already. I think I've kind of answered that a little bit already with putting out good content. If you're hitting writer's block, it's funny. Like, I saw someone the other day on Facebook, I think they were saying, is it good just to write anything, even if it sucks or something like that? And like, I don't know. I mean, I think that like, here's what I think. Like, you want to put out more good paid content. You want to be more prolific. And like, I think we covered that a little bit, already, quite a bit. But like, then we have this other idea, hitting writer's block, where you like pull open a Word document or a Google Docs, or, you open your camera or whatever, and you don't know what to do. You don't know, what to do. There's like two schools of thought, right? You got the school of thought where like you should just wait on inspiration to hit and just lounge around and not do anything until inspiration hits, right? And then you got this school of thought where like you should just do something, anything. It doesn't matter if you don't got any ideas, right? And what I've found is when I just do anything, even if I don't got any good ideas, like the stuff I put out is probably not very good. It's not that great, because I'm forcing it. It's not going to be as good. But the other aspect of what I found is that like usually when inspiration strikes, it strikes more than once. Like, I was in the middle of creating Fat Stacks and doing this stuff, and I started having ideas about being prolific with content when people had been emailing me about, had been increasing my frequency of putting out products, and it got me to thinking about being prolific and just like how to produce more content. And I came up with this like idea of like prolific profits, right? And it would just be like a course about like teaching people how to move quicker with paid content and free content, but with a focus on paid content, how to get things out quicker, and how to come up with ideas faster for different things and stuff like that. And it's like, I think that this is about mindset, right? Because a lot of times when you're in the middle of a project and you might have an idea like that, you don't do anything with it, right? You just throw it away. You're like, man, I don't know. I'll put a pin in that and I'll save it for another day, right? But then you never do, and you forget about it and it's gone, right? Now, me, what I like to do is, man, I grab all the ideas, right? And I look at the world in a little bit of a different way. Like, I was talking on another coaching call about like I would walk through the woods sometimes with my dad. My dad was like a hunter. He's passed away now, but like when he was alive, he was a hunter. He was a deer hunter, and he hunted squirrel and rabbit and deer and everything. I'm not a hunter, right? So when we walk through the woods together, like I'm just walking through the woods enjoying nature. But my father, he would be like looking at like tracks, deer tracks. He would be looking at like rut signs in the trees. He would be he'd be noticing the wind. Like he would notice all these things. He would observe all these things that it would be lost on me. Like I would not observe these things. So I think this is a mindset issue. It's how you look at the things you're dealing with. Like some of you might watch a YouTube video on your niche, on a subject, and you enjoy the YouTube video and then you move on. Some of you might watch the YouTube video, come up with an idea from it for a product or something like that, and you write it down, right? And that's more like moving through the woods like a hunter and less moving through the woods like just like a tourist. You know what I mean? I think it really, really helps that when you're out there and you're consuming free content, just ask yourself, like, what would the paid version of this content look like? What would it look like? I mean, yes, that's what I would say about that, man. I hope that helps. I know we talked about that a lot already today, but I think when it comes to writer's block, I think it's important. I guess what I'm trying to say is it's important to capitalize when you don't have writer's block. When you don't have writer's block and you're writing something good and something cool and it's flowing for you. And when I say writer's block loosely, because it might not be writing, you might be doing videos or you might be doing podcasts or whatever. But like when you don't have that blank in your mind and you don't have anything, but like when it's flowing and the ideas are flowing like water, you want to like write down all those ideas and you just kind of want to jot them down and have them, in your idea bank or whatever, so you can draw on them when you are like drawing a blank. Because I've never had a good experience like just like having a blank in my mind and just trying to just like force something. Like I've never had a good experience with that. It's always been kind of lame. So that's what I'd say about that. Anyways, I hope that helps. How do you pick your affiliate offers? So this person's asking like how I pick my affiliate offers. Well, okay, so when it comes to picking affiliate offers, there's two reasons why, right? We do affiliate promotions. One is for money, and two is for tactical advantage. Okay, so let's explain the money first. That's pretty easy. So with an affiliate offer, and it's just about making money. So you want a really nice offer that is going to sell very easily to your list. Like something like, oh, look, here's a swipe file with 1,000 emails in it for like $6 or something. It's like, okay, that's a really good offer. It's definitely going to appeal to my list. Oh, and by the way, it's 100% through the whole funnel, right? And there's like 8 products in the funnel. Okay, yeah, that's like a no-brainer, right? I'm going to make money off of that, right? My list is going to care about that $6 product for $1,000 my list is going to care about that $6 product with 1,000 emails in it. It's a fully realized funnel. So I'm going to get 100% through the funnel. Like that makes sense, right? It's gonna do well. Like a product that doesn't make sense is like a product that's like, just like, oh, I'm going to give you 25% commissions on the front end, and I'm going to give you like, 25% commissions through the funnel. And like this is like a $20 product or a $35 product or whatever. It's like that doesn't make sense. Now, even if it was like, a $35 product and it was like, 75% commissions on the front end and 50% through the funnel, like I still would steer away from it just because of the fact that like I know I'm not going to convert that well on the front end. The higher something costs, the less people are going to buy it. That's just the way it is. I mean, people have different pain points, Not a lot of people have a pain point of $5. I mean, most people can afford to take a shot on a $5 product. A lot of people might like give pause to a $35 product. So do I really need that? Man, I already bought like 3 things this month. I don't really need anything else. Maybe I'll come back to that another day. You know what I mean? People start thinking about it more. So people have different like pain points. There's a percentage of people who aren't going to care. They're like, yeah, $35, that's no big deal. Whatever. Their pain point is somewhere else. Their pain point might be $97, or their pain point might be $297, and that's where they start thinking about it. But the point is, you have a lower percentage of those people in your audience base and on your list. The lower the price, the bigger amount of people in your audience is willing to take a shot on it. So when we're talking about being an affiliate marketer and we're talking about like, okay, how can I put the most money in my pocket? Well, if you got like a product that has a very low ticket front end and it has a big funnel, right? Then you're going to put a lot of people into that funnel and you have a good chance to make money. And then the other way that you could do it is if you have an offer that is kind of expensive, like $497 or $1,000 or $1,597 or whatever, like $1,597, then you're basically playing the game of like, okay, I know I only have a small percentage of people in my audience that'll pick this up, maybe like 10 people, but like, that's okay because the product's expensive and I'll make a good amount of money off of it when they pick it up. So there's like 2 ways you can make money there. So you either got to have a really expensive front end or you got to have like a low ticket front end with a nice funnel. But for me, these like mid ticket front ends, like $37, $47, $57 kind of products, I don't know, man. I mean, I'm not saying they don't always do well, because sometimes they do. If they're a really good offer and people just really feel like they have to have it, then it can work. Especially like maybe with software or something where people just feel like that software is so good, it is far greater than the value that they're like. If it's like a $47 piece of software and people are like, holy crap, I can really use that software. And like the benefit is just obvious, right? There's so much software out there where the benefit's not obvious. It's just like, what is this crap? I don't need this. But if the benefit of that software is obvious and they're saying, hey, we're going to do this at $47, one-time fee for 4 days. And then all of a sudden it's going to be $20 a month after that. And that's just it. We're just doing this because we're launching. That would convert, right? That would convert. If the benefit was very obvious and you see it's going to go up in price, or, the one-time fee is going to be pulled away, that would be perfect. That would make sense. But for the most part, for me as an affiliate, if I just want to make money, then it's really about, that low ticket front end with a nice funnel, or it's just about a nice high priced offer that's really good. So now the other thing about affiliate marketing, what about the tactical advantage? This is the main reason I like to do affiliate marketing, is for tactical advantage. The reason why you would do affiliate marketing in this case is because you're trying to form an alliance with someone, right? So like if I want someone to promote my launch in the future, maybe a month from now, I will like just absolutely come on their launch and just take it over, right? I'll just like destroy it as an affiliate. I would just like climb the leaderboard and just like go crazy, just ball out of control. So like then what happens is, you know, it'll be easier for me to like reach out to them and be like, hey, what's up, right? Usually they'll reach out to me. But if I reach out to them and say, how's it going, man? Like they're going to be a lot more friendly with me because I just pushed a lot of sales at them. So affiliate marketing for tactical advantage is probably the best way to do affiliate marketing, in my opinion, if you're running affiliate traffic, because this will allow you to form alliances that will grow your business by putting a lot of warm leads on your list. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. So those are the two ways I pick my affiliate offers. Tactical advantage and just making money. And I don't do it a lot for just making money. I mostly just do it for tactical advantage. I hope that doesn't sound too manipulative or kind of like sharky or whatever to you guys, but I'm just being honest with you. A lot of times I'll do affiliate marketing just for tactical advantage. So can you talk a little bit about strategy with cold email marketing? Yeah, with cold email marketing, so that little formula I was telling you guys earlier about like having entertainment value, having actionable content, and then having a pitch, like there's no realm where that is stronger than with cold email marketing, right? And you got to put an emphasis on the story and the actionable content with the cold email. Like especially at first, like the first several emails, like it's like you maybe have a pitch like in the PS or something, but there's a big emphasis on story-driven content, actionable content, right? And like you can't just go like I say this to people, you can't just go story-driven, okay? If you just go story-driven, now I'll tell you what. If I run a series of emails, I will have more conversions on the story-driven emails. However, like if it's all story-driven, like you're just going to lose subscribers. People are going to say, this is fluff. I don't care about this stuff. Man, what is this junk? I don't care about this. But if you're mixing it up with the story-driven and the actionable, like right in the inbox, you know what I mean? And you're providing that value in the emails, and you're telling stories, off the wall stories and stuff like that, you're separating yourself is what you're doing. You're differentiating yourself from everybody else, right? And you got to do this with cold emails. With cold email marketing, you have to do this because if you don't, you're just not going to make any sales. It's going to be like the percentages are going to be very, very low. You might have an email list of like 100,000 people, but like less than 1% are opening your emails. I mean, it's something ridiculous, you know? So yeah, I just say with cold email marketing, it's similar to warm email marketing, but it's a little bit harder and it takes longer to warm people up. I mean, the fact of the matter is, with cold email marketing, the goal is not really, truthfully, in the beginning, the goal is not really to just get sales off those cold emails. I mean, that's the ultimate goal, but the primary goal in the beginning, in my opinion, the mindset shouldn't be get sales, get sales, get sales. With cold email marketing, the primary goal is to get this group of people more engaged, to warm them up a little bit, make it more responsive. That's the primary, and then the secondary is get sales. And then as it goes along, as they move in the sequence, then it becomes more get sales. So that's been my experience with it, man. So when you're doing cold email marketing, you got to put an emphasis on story and actionable content right in the inbox, not sending them out somewhere. You can have the best YouTube video in the world that's free, but if you have a link in the email and you're sending them out to it, it's not the same. I mean, you need to deliver actionable content right in the inbox, right? So that's what I would say. And you can't just deliver actionable content in the inbox every email. I mean, you have to throw the curveballs. You have to tell the stories. You have to tell the dirty jokes or the clean jokes or whatever. You have to wake people up, man. You got to hit them in the mouth. You got to do it. If you don't do it, you're not going to get their attention. That's just the way it is. All right. I picked up Guru in a box, but not exactly sure how to use it. Could you give me a few recommendations? Yeah, sure. We actually just talked about a way to use Guru in the box. The first part of this coaching call. Substack. Substack is a perfect way to use Guru in a box. Now, Guru in a box has a license on it that says you can't use that content free. So if you're using the Guru in a box content, you have to put it behind. It has to be paid, right? It has to be paid. You have to charge them at least $2 a month or something. You have to charge them something. But still, my goodness gracious, you could do like you could schedule one Guru in a box podcast a week, and you can literally schedule that out for almost the next 2 years on a Substack. And then you can fill in the rest with other content, your other newsletter, other like emails and stuff like that. You could even purchase other content from other places and just fill it all in with content you've purchased if you want to. You can make a killer newsletter like that, and it could be like kind of a mix of paid and free. If you look at some of those case studies inside FastStacks, you'll see some of the people who are most successful on that platform right now, they have a mix of free and paid. Like they have like one free email a week, one free email a month, and like 3 paid emails a month or whatever. So it's a very, very popular strategy over there. So anyways, that's one way right there that I would use Guru in a box. And that's probably the primary way I would use it right now because it's just such a good opportunity. I hope that helps. What's your number one recommendation for social media when it comes to getting traffic and building a tribe besides Facebook and YouTube? I hate them both. Man, if I had a dime for everyone who told me they hated Facebook and YouTube for that matter. People tell me they hate Facebook and people tell me they love YouTube, but they don't want to use YouTube, right? Nobody ever tells me they hate YouTube. They always tell me they like YouTube, but they don't want to use YouTube, right? So it's like, yeah, Lee's right. The 25 ways to profit with the Guru bonus video is awesome. Thank you, Lee. Lee brings up a good point. If you check the bonus section, like to the person who wrote this email to me, if you check the bonus section of Guru in a box, this person probably hasn't checked the bonus section. If you check the bonus section, there is a video there called 25 ways to profit with the Guru that'll give you more ways to use Guru in a box to make money besides just Substack. But yeah, there's a lot of ways you can use that content. By the way, I'm going to start season 2 of that podcast up. I'm planning on doing it in November, you guys. So I'm going to start season 2 up either November or December, and do a season 2, and I might license season 2 also. After I get to 100 episodes, I'll license another season of that stuff to people. So we'll see. That's the plan right now is to try to do a season 2 and figure out if I'm going to do 3 episodes a week or whatever. But anyways, what's your number one recommendation for social media when it comes to getting traffic and building a tribe besides Facebook and YouTube? Like, I hate to harp on this, but like right now, like if someone asked me my number one recommendation for social media, if you're not going to use Facebook or YouTube, then I say use Substack. Substack is where it's at right now for me. I mean, I think that's awesome. Now, a lot of people will probably say like Instagram, and Instagram is a pretty big, obvious platform to use. But to me personally, like the benefit of a platform like Substack is so great just because you build a subscriber base there and it's an email list, and all your content, when it's published, it is delivered right to their inbox like an email. You guys, I happen to know for a fact that I get far more sales by email than any other way that I'm doing marketing out here. So it's just like it's night and day. So like in my mind, there's no way I could make more money on Instagram than on something like Substack, because I know if Substack continues to grow and people continue to use it, like it's just, I mean, when you publish content, it goes right to the people. There's no one else in the conversation. It's you and them and if they want to buy or not. So it's a big deal. So anyways, guys, I guess that's all I got. I guess we've been here for a while. I hope this has been helpful to you guys today. Man, does anybody have any questions for me before I get out of here? And I'll let you guys go and enjoy your Saturday afternoon. All right, very, very cool. Guys, as always, it is an honor and a pleasure to do these group coaching calls with you. I feel so blessed just to be alive and still working. I know a lot of people during this COVID-19 pandemic are out of work and not able to do the things that they have to do to support their families and stuff like that. And, I feel blessed that I can continue to work. And it's an honor to be here right now, helping you guys move your businesses forward. Thank you so much for being here. And I guess that's it for me, guys. I will see you guys. Do not be afraid to email me, ask me questions. I will answer your questions directly, but I might also save them back and talk about them on this group coaching call as well. And thanks so much for hanging out, guys. As always, it's an honor and a pleasure, and I'll see you guys around. Peace, everybody.